Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend and everything's. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So, and you're getting ready to ramp up for the fall here. So let's get started on the call. We're going to continue from the FIA where we left off, but before that, a couple of housekeeping things. You got your tape breakdown last week, and this is an example of exactly what you want a client to hear. This is, guys, if you want a good motivator, go back and listen to this 5Q tape breakdown. You see exactly, and then ask yourself, wow, I wonder how many times in my career has a client actually said that? The 5Q system, the 21-point checklist, the motivational interviewing gets them to say these kind of things. So please go back. If you want a motivator, go back and listen to that. It was brought to our attention that the new FTC identity theft booklets, they've been updated, and they're much simpler and easier now. So you can go back into the 5Q website and find out how we can do this. It's been updated on.
And I've updated it, Mike.
Yep. Okay.
I'll just step in here real quick. So we've updated it on a lot of different places because it's actually pretty integrated in a lot of the, obviously the client software, the prospect software. It's out there on the 21 identity theft section. So it's integrated in a lot of things, but guys, you'll find out that it has been updated in every section. Now, if you still have the old identity theft books that are a lot longer, feel free to, use those up. We've kind of made the verbiage on everything that's updated relate to either version of the booklets, but just so that you're aware, the one that you print out from the 5Q website, whether it be the client or the prospect in the appendices, will refer to the new book, which you can also order online as well through the FTC as well. So everything has been updated. If you, for some reason, find something that doesn't look like it's been updated, reach out to us. It is in a lot of different places throughout the system, but hopefully that makes that more clear.
Yeah, all the old stuff is still totally valid. This is just a shortened version, and then it refers you over to their website to get the longer version or the more information, which is actually how people do things now anyway. So, Dean, thanks for bringing that to our attention. That's we kind of need all eyes looking for that kind of stuff, so I appreciate it. We talked about here a couple of weeks ago that fact that if you got old policies, now is the time to do them because we don't know when they're going to be changing rates. Well, here's an example. American Equity just changed their cap from 7.5 down to 6. So there's still great rates out there. Theme, F&G, plus others still have some great rates, but just like American Equity, that's not written in stone. They will change. So guys, everybody answer this. When should you be going out and talking to not just a few, three people a week, but reach out to all of your clients that have old FIA, variable annuity, etc. contracts? When? And how many of them should you be doing it with? All of them. Why? We talked about this earlier, because if you went to the bank and because your CD was renewed or needed to be renewed this month, and they said, "Oh shoot, you know what? It's too bad you didn't contact us last month. Maybe I should have contacted you because rates were actually 3 or 4% higher last month. We could have got you in, even with the little surrender charge. You still would have been way ahead if we'd done that. Oh, I guess I should have done that." Would you be happy or not happy if they said that? Well, can we still do it? Nope, can't do it anymore. How happy or unhappy would you be? So, guys, you need to go back to your current clients, all of them with VAs and with FIAs and with fixed annuities and with CDs, etc., and say now is the time to be looking at these types of things. Okay? So not with some of your clients, but all of your clients. Make sense? And again, the rates are changing regularly, so you need to reach out to Jerry, reach out to Dan, and find out which companies are offering the best rates right now. Make sense? Cool. So let me get this here. And we're going to, last time we got together, we made it all the way to this chart right here. So I'm going to start right, and we voted that we still wanted to finish the rest of this, so we're going to finish the rest of this training video. So here we go.
You're crazy.
But why does it make sense?
Well, because you're not going down when the market loses money.
Yeah, we're following Warren Buffett's advice. Now, here's the thing. This is if you didn't spend any money. How many
guys? This is a training video that was shot in 2019. It's still valid today. I'm not going to go back and reshoot the video, but these charts have been updated and they look just as good now as they did back then.
retirees do I talk to that save and scrimp and scrounge their whole entire life to put money away into their retirement accounts and then don't spend it? A lot of retirees are virtually no retiree.
Well, I would guess most of them are spending it. We are.
We saved it to what?
To spend it.
To spend it. This chart here is showing that if we didn't spend any money. Let's look if you actually had to spend money. And if you Google retirement withdrawals, do you know there's a percentage that always shows up? Do you know what that percentage is for withdrawals?
Well, I think I've heard 4% being thrown around.
Well, then you are correct. If you Google that, you're going to find a lot of people say there's a 4% withdrawal rule. This is showing that if you put the money in 2000 and you withdrew 4% a year, what would have happened? So see the left column here? It says real portfolio value. It starts out at 1 or 100% there. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And all the different colors down here, you see the kind of rusty red is if you had 100% of your money in the stock market. And the blue is if you had a 50-50, 50% in the stock market and 50% in something safe for the bonds. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what if you start pulling out money? What?
So guys, why do I preach a 50-50 portfolio? And how often do I preach a 50-50 portfolio? Who are we working with? Are we working with people who are 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, still saving? Or working with people who are now retired and will now be pulling money out of their accounts? So why do I preach a 50-50? If you showed this, if I went and showed your clients this, which one of these graphs, so which one of these portfolios do they want, the 50-50 or the 100% equity bond? Which would they rather have? Yeah, the 50-50. That's right, John. Oh, but I have a money manager who's going to make sure this doesn't happen. Guys, how many hedge funds beat the market? How many hedge funds beat the market over 10-year time periods? And these are guys these are the best people in the world. If the hedge fund managers who have what's the minimum investment on a hedge fund? What kind of due diligence do people who invest in hedge funds have? So really, your money manager who accepts people with $250,000, $500,000, if you're really flying high, $1 million, really, those are the guys that can beat the marketplace? Ben says I'm colorblind to see all these. This is the 50-50, Ben. 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, 100% in stocks, runs out of money. 90-10, 90-10 runs out of money. These are all, so the way you want to be going is what? 50-50. And if we went opposite, 40-60, 30-70, guess what would have happened to these graphs, guys? What would have happened to these graphs? Remember, when we looked at Michael Kitz's graph, what was the one that gave you, what was the percentage that gave you the highest chance of not running out of money? Waitfo and Ben Kitzis did all the research, looked at all the information, and what they come up with. Come on, guys, you should all know this. What's the chance for a 30-year retirement? What's the one that will run out, has the least likely chance of running out? Wait. Gigi's got it. Come on, guys. Nope. So Gigi, you got it. Ben, you're close. So 20 to 80 is the 20 to 80, 30 to 70 are the two highest likelihood of not running out of money. So it would have kept going up here. So how many of your clients would be surprised by this? Heck, how many of your competitors would be surprised by this? Because what do your competitors preach to your clients? We must be in what to make sure we don't run out of money? We must be in what so to make sure inflation. We must do what? We must be in what? Equities. And what is this saying?
Yeah, you got to be in equities, but you sure know what? Heck, better what? Being guaranteed to. And this is bonds. How much better would this have looked if we had FIAs instead of bonds? And remember, that's according to Ibbotson. Ibbotson's a very is a stock-oriented guy or an insurance-oriented guy? He's stock. Ibbotson charts. He is Mr. Stock Research, and he said that what? FIAs are much superior to bonds. So what would have happened to this? It would have been even better. What's happening to your prospects when they see this? Has the advisor that they're working with showed them this? Everybody answers yes or no, Y or N. Has their advisor, because remember, you're showing this to a prospect. Has the advisor that they're working with shown them this? Do they have any clue about this? No, that's right. Everybody's getting it. What happened to the accounts?
Well, they're starting to go down.
And how much did they go down? When the market went down, you were pulling out when the accounts are down. How badly can you get hurt?
You can get hurt pretty bad.
So much so that even when the market comes back up, are you able to catch up?
No.
See, that's called, I don't know, have you ever heard of the term sequence of return risk?
Well, yeah, I think I've heard it. Yes, I've heard it.
Okay, well, sequence of return says it depends how you get your return. If you have some down years and you're withdrawing money, guess what's going to happen to your account? Does this chart right here that we're looking at look like this gray chart? Or does it look the opposite?
Looks the opposite.
Because when we pull money out, how much more badly do we get hurt when the market goes down if we're pulling money out?
A lot worse.
A lot worse. So, if you're comfortable enough that you don't need to pull money out, I guess you could delay your lifestyle, delay the trips, delay the new car, delay giving your kids money, delay taking the grandkids on vacation. You could delay that if you have that luxury. But how many of us and when we retire, wanted to delay our lifestyle for 3, 4, 5, or even how many years was this? 13 years. How many of us want to do that?
Nobody I know.
And then if you're in the unfortunate position where it's not even, you're not even pulling out money for the fun things, you're pulling out money to live, then what kind of a problem do we have? Big or small?
That could be a big problem.
Yeah. So for us that are pulling out money in retirement, we got to really make sure that Warren Buffett's rule of not losing money is paid attention to or ignored.
That we pay attention to it.
I keep coming back to this, and you've heard me ask this question over and over again. Is Jeff answering these questions just because he knows what I want to say? How many of your clients would answer the questions I'm asking Jeff any differently than what Jeff is saying? How many of your prospects would answer the questions differently from how Jeff's answering them? What would somebody who answered it differently sound or look like? They'd sound what? That's right, Dale. It's a logical flow. It's using Socratic selling. Do I ever ask a question that I don't know how Jeff's going to answer? That's it. You've heard the saying, don't ever ask a question you're not going to answer. Do I ever ask Jeff a question that I don't know exactly how he's going to answer? Or do every question I ask, I know exactly how he's going to answer it? See, that's the whole thing. 25 years ago, I created a script that I predicted what people would say 25 years in the future, a quarter of a century ago. I created a script that I could predict what your clients would say 25 years, quarter of a century in the future. That's how powerful this stuff is if you use it. Yeah. So this Warren Buffett technique sounds pretty good at this point, or not very good at this point.
Oh, it sounds very good.
But is there really any perfect investment out there?
No, I'm sure everything has advantages and disadvantages.
You got it. They have advantages and disadvantages. And anytime I buy something, whether it's a car or TV, do I just go buy it or do I do some comparison shopping?
Well, you look around, you do some comparison shopping.
Even, have you ever been on like Consumer Reports if I'm shopping for a car or TV, and don't they put the models right next to each other side by side to see how they perform?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Would that make some sense to do when it comes to our investments at least?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, so let's do that. First of all, let's look at safe investments. What kind of things can be safe investments?
Well, the CDs, government bonds, like we talked about.
Uh-huh. And then the other type of investments, market investments, that's like your money manager or the variable annuity they have, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we have the Warren Buffett option. And they each have advantages and disadvantages. So what's the advantages of a safe investment?
Well, it's safe. You're not going to lose it.
It's safe. Can't lose money. The disadvantage is it makes how much?
Hardly anything.
Hardly anything. So that's the disadvantage. Market investment, the advantage is what? Guys, this is the most powerful table you'll ever use to sell. Why? This is the most powerful table you'll ever use to sell. Why? How many types of investments are there? There's safe investments, there's growth investments, and then there's the Warren Buffett, the one in between. What are the three things the market can do? So everybody answer this. What are the three things the market can do? What are the three things the market can do? Up, down, and sideways. That's right, Gigi. So we're going to, that's right, John, Nick. So we're going to look at all the possibilities where they can invest their money and all the possibilities of what can happen with their money. So then we've covered all of the different possibilities, or we haven't covered the different possibilities. We've compared the different possibilities, or we haven't compared the. So by the end, they think, that's right, Artie. So if by the end they're saying, okay, well, I've looked at all the different possibilities, both of where I can invest and what can happen, and this is where I want to go. Do they have any choice then but to go the direction they want to go? No. It's written in stone.
Oh, you could make a lot.
So you make a lot. The disadvantage is what?
You could lose a lot.
You lose a lot. Now, the Warren Buffett, the advantage is what?
Well, you're not going to lose anything.
Not going to lose anything. The disadvantage is when the market goes up a lot, you're going to get all of it or some of it?
Just some of it.
That's a disadvantage. So they each have advantage and disadvantage. Am I hiding anything about the safe money, market investments, or the Warren Buffett here? Or am I basically laying it out exactly how it works? Safe is good, but you're not going to get a ton of money. Market can be really good or really bad. And the Warren Buffett can be what? Well, it protects you from losing money, but you're certainly not going to get all the market gives you. Am I hiding anything at this point, or am I laying it out there exactly how it is? Let's just look at how they play out depending on what happens with the economy. So what are the three things the market can do? The market can go up, and it can go what?
Down.
Down, and if it doesn't go up or down, it's going what?
Sideways.
Sideways. So let's look at these investments and how they compare. If the market's going up, do you really want to be in a safe investment not paying anything?
No.
You'd rather be in what investment?
Market investment.
Market. So that's an okay place to be. How about the Warren Buffett? It's not making as much as the market, but it's still an okay place to be.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay place to be, yeah. Now, when the market goes down, now the safe investment looks what?
Now it looks good.
Now it looks good. How does the market investment, how does your variable annuity or your money manager look when the market goes down?
Bad.
Bad. And how does the Warren Buffett look?
Well, I mean, it looks okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Yep. Not the best. I mean, at least you're making a little interest in the safe investment. Are you making interest on the Warren Buffett?
No.
But it's a heck of a lot better than what?
Than going down.
Again, am I laying it out exactly how it works? Yes. Than going down. Now, when the market goes sideways, what do you think about being in a safe investment?
That's okay.
It's okay, right? Now, when the market goes sideways, you might think, well, I guess my money manager and my variable annuity are okay place to be. But you remember when we did the Control Your Assets or the CYA report, we found you were paying $12,300 in fees. So when the market goes sideways, is the manager going to say, oh, we didn't do very much work today, so we're going to waive those fees? Or are you still going to get charged those $12,000 in fees?
No, you're still going to get charged.
Yeah, and so what's it like paying having our account go down $12,000? We're still what?
I'm still going down.
Still going down. So do you want to be in a market investment if the market goes sideways?
No, not really, no.
No. But the Warren Buffett, worst case scenario, you're going to make what?
Zero.
So is that an okay place to be?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so the three scenarios we have here, how often was a safe investment an okay place to be?
2.
2 out of 3. The market investment, how often was that out of 3 times the right place or an okay place to be?
1.
1. And how often was the Warren Buffett option an okay place to be?
3.
So guys, how many of your competitors have laid it out this logically for them? How many of your competitors what's the likelihood that the guy you're competing with against this prospect right now has laid it out this logically? Yeah, they haven't. Now, The first layer we're saying, is it okay? Not the best place. We're saying, okay. But every answer Jeff gives me, he's saying what? Every time Jeff answers, he's saying what? I want a what? Warren Buffett option. Sometimes in little ways, sometimes in big ways. So by the end of just this chart, probably about 50 times he's going to tell me, just with this one slide, 50 times he's going to tell me, I want an FIA. Sometimes in little ways, sometimes in big ways. So why do so many of my clients like the Warren Buffett option?
Because it's always a decent place to be.
I think you just nailed it right there. A decent place to be, not the best place to be. Because let's face it, if the market's going up, where's the best place? Am I telling them that FIAs are the best place to be, guys? I actually said what? You're right. The FIA is never the best place to be. Am I sugarcoating anything with the FIA on this chart? And remember, the Warren Buffett, we're going to get at the end of this presentation, we're going to convert from a Warren Buffett to the annuity, because we're going to say you can either create your own Warren Buffett or you can buy an annuity, which you'd rather do, and then I'll always say I want to buy the annuity. But so don't worry about why we're calling Warren Buffett, because at the end, we're going to say you can do it yourself this way, or you can buy an annuity this way. Which one do you want? And they're going to tell us. But why? How many times are they telling us that the Warren Buffett is the way they want to go? Is to be. Where's the number one place I'd want to be?
Oh, in the market.
I'd want to be there. Where's the second best place to be?
Warren Buffett.
The Warren Buffett. Where's the last place I'd want to be?
Safe investment.
Safe investment. Now, if the market goes down, where's the best place to be? What's going to at least pay us some interest?
The safe investment.
The safe investment. Where's the second best place to be?
Warren Buffett.
Where's the last place we want to be?
The market.
Yeah. And market goes sideways, where's the best place to be?
Safe investment again, I think.
Still earning a little what?
Still earning some interest.
Yeah. Because does Warren Buffett pay you interest, or it just protects your principal?
Just protects the principal.
So where would be to avoid paying that $12,000 in fees, where would the second best place to be?
Warren Buffett.
And where would the last place you want to be?
Market.
Market. Now, here I'm a little confused, because when okay, now I'm going to use the devil's advocate. And you've heard me do this before at the last call we had. I use the devil's advocate. Why do I use the devil's advocate? So Jeff will not just give me answers, but he'll actually think about why he's answering the way he's answering. And when he's thinking about why am I answering the way I'm answering, that then thought becomes solidified in his head. All the cogs click into place. All the gears click into place. He's like, oh, yes, this is, and he starts to argue the case for doing what he wants to do. And when he argues for the case that he wants to do, if anybody tries to change his mind, what's he going to do? Because are we saying the FIA or the Warren Buffett is the best place to be? No. Did we ever once say the Warren Buffett place is the best place to be, where the market goes up, down, or sideways? Did we ever once say or have them tell us or propose that the FIA is the best place? Now, is this how most guys sell FIAs? That, hey, you know what? The FIA is never going to be the right place to be. Is that how most people sell FIAs? Yes or no? Y or N? FIA is never going to be the right place to be. Sorry. Why do we do that? Because it's a devil advocate sell. So they'll explain to us why they want to do what they want to do. That's right, Artie. When we look at the Warren Buffett, it's never the what?
Well, it's never the best place to be.
It's never the best place to be. So why do my clients pick the thing that's never the right thing?
Well, it's never wrong.
It's never wrong. In retirement, are they looking for something that can so much that's going to be the best place to be, or something that's never wrong?
No, they're looking for something that's never wrong.
Yeah. Do they want to make a mistake in retirement, or do they want something that's mistake what?
No, they want something mistake proof.
Something that's mistake proof. Because if you think about it, can I ever time being at the right place at the right time? Since we don't or do have crystal balls?
We don't.
We don't. Because if we had a crystal ball, could I go back and be at the, or if I could be at the right place at the right time, could I choose what gas station to be in when it issued the winning lottery ticket?
If you had a crystal ball, you could.
Yeah. Does that exist? Can I ever be at the right place at the right time, except by pure luck?
No, it's just pure luck.
Pure luck. And when it comes to health and when it comes to money, do we want to Do we want? We can go to the casino. Is that where we're going to invest all of our money? Is in casinos?
No,
pure luck.
No.
Yeah. So now, on the other hand, we can't be in the right place at the right time. Can we avoid being at the wrong place at the wrong time? For example, what if my son said, "Dad, I got mugged"? I'm going to say, "Oh no, are you okay?" He says, "Yeah, I'm okay." I say, "Well, tell me what happened." He goes, "Well, it was Saturday night. I was on the wrong side of town. It was 3 a.m. I was a little bit tipsy, and I wasn't paying attention. I was watching my phone." What am I going to say to him? I'm glad you're okay, but what?
Yeah, you shouldn't have been there. You shouldn't have been doing that.
Could he avoided it being at the wrong place at the wrong time?
Yeah, he could have done that.
So we can't be at the right place at the right time, but we sure in the heck can be what? Or avoid being what?
Can avoid being in the wrong place.
And what's the only thing, safe investment, market investment, Warren Buffett, what's the only place that'll put us, help us? Okay, how many people would answer the questions about the lottery ticket and my son being in the wrong place for a wrong time the exact same way Jeff answered it? Everybody would. Does that seem logical? Yes. Is that the way life works? Yes. I got to use all sorts of different analogies for that. And once they agree that that's the way it works, how about for the most important thing in their retirement, their money? Does it apply to everything in life except for their money? Everything in life except their lifestyle? Everything in life except their comfortable retirement? No, but if it ends up that way for life, it's going to end up that way for retirement as well. So see how I've set it up with that there's only one way they can answer this. Avoid being the wrong place at the wrong time without having to guess.
The Warren Buffett.
Because it's wrong how often?
It's never wrong.
So why do my clients choose to put most of their money into it? Not all, but most of their money into Warren Buffett, even though it's never the right place to be?
Well, because then they know at least it's not going to be the wrong place to be, and it's always okay. It's always doing something.
It's always doing something. So does that make life a little easier, a little better sleep, a little less anxiety, a little bit less roller coaster?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And why is that so important in retirement?
Because you want to make sure that you're going to be okay, that you're not going to have to go back to work or something like that.
Yeah. Who just sold Jeff an FIA? Everybody answer this. Who just sold Jeff an FIA? Who just explained to Jeff why an FIA is the only way he should be investing his money right now? Yeah, everybody's got it. He himself has done that. And he explained 3 different times in detail, because I asked him open-ended questions after we went through this whole entire chart, twice through it. I asked him 3 open-ended questions, and all 3 times he explained to himself why the Warren Buffett option was the best place to be, even though it's never why the overall the FIA is the best place to be, even though on any particular occasion it's never the best place to be. Amen. Amen. So this is, it's a pretty good investment, but like we said, so he just bought an FIA. He just bought an FIA, didn't he? But are there objections to FIAs? Yes. What are the objections? Liquidity, fees. We've already covered the other objection, which it doesn't give you as much money as the market. How many times has he told me it's okay that it does not give him as much as the market? Between the last call we had here a couple of weeks ago and what we covered today, how many times has Jeff told me he is okay with it not giving him as much as the market gives on good years? Probably 60, 70 times. So we've covered that objection. Now we've got the objections of fees and we've got the objections of liquidity. And can I tell him, hey, don't worry about this? No, he's got to tell me. So let's see how we deal with that. Anything perfect out there?
No, nothing perfect.
No. So one of the things we also have to look at is how liquid is this thing? Are we going to be able to get our money when we need it? In retirement, how important should liquidity be?
Well, it's very important.
It should be very important. Yeah, I think so too. I agree. So let's take a look at how it would compare to say so am I going to say, don't worry about it because you can always get 10% of your money out? Guys, if you say, don't worry, you can get 10% of your money out, what do they hear? When you tell them, don't worry, you can get 10% of your money out every year, what do they hear? What does a client hear when you say something silly like that? 90% that's right, Lonnie. What, you're saying 90% of my money's locked up?
So don't. And I've heard that when people first come on to 5Q, that's how I hear advisors cover liquidity. Don't do that. That is silly. You've just told to have them think in their head, oh my God, you mean 90% of my money is locked up? How many people want to invest in something where 90% of their money is locked up? Nobody. So I need to have them tell me that this thing is more or less liquid than having it with a money manager. So that's probably where it is nowadays. And if it's more liquid than a money manager, is it more liquid than an FIA? I'm sorry, more liquid than a mutual fund or a VA? Yes. But if I can get them to tell me that it's more liquid than a money manager, is liquidity going to be a problem? If I can get them to tell me that an FIA with a 10% surrender charge is more liquid than a money manager, it's more liquid than everything, right? It's more liquid than a mutual fund. It's more liquid than a VA. It's more liquid than a REIT. It's more like, because a money manager is supposed to be quote unquote liquid. I can call the money manager and they can pull the money out today, right? So if I can get them to say it's more liquid than a money manager, I'm golden. So let's see how we do that.
Your current money market or your money management account or your variable annuity or your mutual funds. Let's look at how it compares. So let's just, for ease of example, let's use a $300,000 account, okay?
Okay.
So I have a client that has $300,000, and if they had $300,000 using the Warren Buffett, they'll be able to pull out $30,000 anytime they want, no cost, no hassle, no penalty. Now, if you think about it, if they pull out $30,000 a year,
did I say that they could pull out 10%, guys? Did I say they could pull out 10%? No. I said what? They could pull out 30 grand.
How long before they run out of money?
About 10 years.
And how much tax are they going to pay every time they pull out $30,000?
Quite a bit.
Right. So how often are they going to pull out $30,000 a year?
I wouldn't think very often.
Who just told me they're not going to pull out more than 10% a year? Who just told me they're not going to pull out 10% a year? Who just told me that it's not a big deal, that's not really a problem? He did.
But they may pull it out. I mean, for example, would $30,000 cover a roof?
Oh, yeah.
How often would you spend more than $30,000 on vacation?
Oh, never.
How often do you spend $30,000 on new furniture?
No, you're not going to do that. Or most people wouldn't.
Yeah. Most people wouldn't. And, with maintaining our house, furnaces, things like that, hot water heaters, do those ever cost? I mean, do they cost anywhere near $30,000?
No.
And would $30,000 and a trade-in of your car get you pretty close to a new car?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. And how often do you give your kids $30,000?
Never.
So I'm going through a laundry list of things that he might actually need to pull the money out. And what's he telling me? That $30,000 is enough or not enough? Once, twice, third time, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. He's telling me 7 times that, hey, no, 30 grand is enough. I don't need more than 30 grand.
Never. So we can get access to $30,000 of this anytime we want, no penalty, nothing whatsoever. But how often would we need to do that, and how often would we want to do it if we were going to run out of money in 10 years?
You wouldn't want to do it very often.
So who told me that 30,000 is enough? Did I tell him, don't worry about it, you get 10% liquidity? Or did he say, hey, don't worry, 30 grand, I'll never take out more than that anyways? And how many times did he tell me that?
Could it happen, though, that not only would we need 30,000, but we'll get behind the 8 ball where we need a roof and the furnace goes out and the kids need to borrow money? I mean, we don't want that to happen, but does life happen sometimes? And we would need more than that.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah. So what if we needed an extra 15? Now we're at 45,000. If we pulled $45,000 out of that $300,000 account, how long before we're out of money now?
Oh, less than 10 years.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years. We're out now. So how often do we want to pull out 45,000?
No, you don't really want to have to do that.
No, you don't. But it could happen, and if you did have to do that any particular year, you'll get a hit with an early withdrawal penalty, just like you would with a CD of $1,500 in this case.
Okay.
So if we take our
So guys, I'm using what as a penalty now? Early withdrawal penalty. What am I using as an early withdrawal penalty? What percentage? High math. You guys deal with annuities. What am I using as a? I'm saying that if he invested the first year, he's going to get hit with a what if he pulls out more than 10%? A 10% penalty. The 15,000 above the 15,000 that he pulls up above the 10% free withdrawal, he's going to get with a 10% penalty on this, which is what? $1,500. So on the 45,000, though, he's only going to get hit with a $1,500 penalty. Do you get that?
Calculator here, and let's see how much of a penalty that is. So 1,500, we said your account's worth how much?
300,000.
Okay, so we're going to divide 1,500 by 300,000. Okay, that ends up being a 0.5%. A 0.5%, so half of 1%. So is that a huge penalty or not a really a big penalty? We don't want any penalties, but is that a huge penalty or a small penalty?
That's a small.
Guys, did they pull out all 300,000 or did they pull out 45,000? Did they pull out all 300,000 or did they pull out 45,000? They pulled out 45,000. So that 1,500 is applied to the 300,000. That's how you get up to 1/2 of 1%. 1,500 is 1/2 of 1% of the full 300,000 because they didn't pull out the whole account. So this 1,500 reflects on the total account of 1/2 of 1%. Does the math work? Yes.
All penalty.
And if we compare it to, say, your money management account, how long does it take for the stock market to go down 1%?
No, it doesn't take long at all.
Like not long at all months or not long at all hours sometimes? Hours. And how long does it take for the market to go up 1%?
That doesn't take that long.
Right. So really, depending on the day, the market may be up a little bit or what?
Could be down a little bit.
Yeah. So as compared, the Warren Buffett option is compared to your money manager. If the day, if that particular day the market is down 0.5%, and Warren Buffett's only a 0.5% penalty, which one's more liquid, the Warren Buffett or your money manager?
Probably just.
If the market went down 1% and Warren Buffett only goes,
well, then
which one's more liquid?
Warren Buffett is.
Yeah, and on a day that the market's up 1%, and you're going to get hit with a 0.5% penalty with Warren Buffett, which is more liquid that day?
The market.
Yeah, the money manager. So really, when the market's chugging along normally, is one really a lot more liquid than the other one, or is it really a horse apiece?
That's kind of a horse apiece.
Depends on the what?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. But we know the market chugs along normally, but it also can what?
It can go down.
Go down. And if I need to pour $45,000 out when it's down, let's say it went down, for easy math, 33%. Now, has the market gone down 33% before?
Yeah, that's happened.
And even more, right? In the last 20 years, how often has that happened?
At least a couple times.
Yeah, at least a couple times, 2 or 3 times, right? So if the market is down 1/3 and we have to pull that money out, we're going to lock in those losses. So what's 1/3 of 45,000?
15,000.
So if we need that money and we're going to pull it out, can we ever make those losses back again?
No.
We've locked them in. So would you say that's an advantage or a penalty?
No, that's a penalty.
That's a penalty. And we said if you pull out $45,000 from the Warren Buffett, you're going to get hit with how much of an early withdrawal penalty?
$1,500.
Now, we don't like early withdrawal penalties. So if the market's chugging along normally, it depends on the day. Which one is what?
Which one is more liquid?
But when the market goes down, which one becomes more liquid?
The Warren Buffett.
By a little or by a lot?
A lot. By 10 times.
A lot. 10 times. And boy, when I see that, I look at my statement, I see I locked in all those losses. It's going to give me a stroke. So now I'm incapacitated. And why is that important? Because what's the number one expense in retirement that can completely wipe out a retirement or put a huge dent in retirement? What kind of cost?
Well, medical costs.
Medical costs. Terminal illness costs, critical care needs, long-term care, in-home health care. Cheap or expensive?
Really expensive.
Expensive. So what happens if those costs happen? Because is that going to cost $45,000 or a heck of a lot more than $45,000?
Probably a lot more than that.
Yeah. What's nursing home or in-home health care cost?
I'm not sure, but it's $50,000, $60,000, $70,000.
That's right. A lot. So how did your money manager and the Warren Buffett compare there? Well, the one thing you should know about the Warren Buffett strategy, it's very senior-centric. What I mean by that is most people who have the sense and experience of the market can go up and go down. Retirees, they've seen it all. So they think Warren Buffett's idea of making sure we don't lose money is important or not important?
No, very important.
And are they willing to give up a little return to get that kind of safety?
Yeah, for sure.
They are. So most people who are smart enough or have enough experience or wise enough to use the Warren Buffett option are people who are retired. And so the people who offer the Warren Buffett strategy, they say, you know what, these people are smart, we're working with these people, and the number one cost that can really make them suffer in retirement is healthcare costs. So when you have major healthcare costs, the Warren Buffett option is going to even waive that $1,500 penalty, which makes it completely what if you need it for healthcare costs?
Completely liquid.
No penalty whatsoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at how these compare. If the market's up, are you at least doing okay with your money management account if you need to pull out money for healthcare? It's still going to make a dent, but at least is the market kind of minimizing that hurt?
It's minimizing it.
Right. Now, so the three things the market can do is go up, down, and what?
Sideways.
Sideways. And we said that if the market goes up, are you okay in the market investment?
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah. And are you okay in the Warren Buffett option?
Yeah, you're okay.
There's no penalty, and at least your account's what? To mute the cost, it's still what?
Still going up.
Still going up. But now if the market goes down, say 30 or 40%, can you go to the nursing home or to the in-home health care, to the hospital and say, listen, our accounts are down 30 or 40%. What we'd like to do is give you an IOU, and as soon as those accounts come back, we'll pay you back.
No.
What will the hospital, nursing home, or no? They're not going to allow that. Well, then you're going to go, instead you go to your money manager and say, listen, we've been a good customer of yours for 7 years. Through heck or high water, you will owe us. So now Mike is in the nursing home, or we need to be spending $70,000 a year for in-home health care. You need to cover these losses. You caused us this damage. You knew what age we were, and you still had our accounts in the things that could go down by that much. You need to take some of your profits and cover these healthcare costs. What are they going to say?
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that.
So what kind of a pickle are you in if you have to pull out big amounts of money when the market's already down? We just saw.
Yeah, that's big trouble.
Big trouble. Now, with the Warren Buffett option, we said your accounts are going to be down how much when the market goes down?
Oh, they're not going to be down anything.
And how much is you're going to be hit with an early withdrawal penalty?
Well,
again, waiving the $1,500 penalty is not going to be, yeah. And the $1,500 might not be a big deal, but heck, when you're shelling out that kind of money, is it every penny help?
Well, no, it helps.
Yeah. So you're not going to be fantastic, but are you going to be a little bit better than being in trouble?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If the market goes sideways, we said again, you still are those $12,300 in fees are waived, or you're still having to pay those?
No, you still have to pay them.
So guess you're kind of okay, but boy, when you add on an extra $12,000 on top of what you're already paying, how long before we get into trouble?
Not long.
Not long. With the Warren Buffett option, you're still what?
Still okay.
Yeah. So if everything goes to heck in a handbasket and you need some sort of major health care, which one's more liquid? Market or Warren Buffett?
The Warren Buffett.
By a little or a lot?
By a lot.
And we said that liquidity is important. So when the market's chugging along, is it either one more liquid or it really depends on the day?
It depends on the day.
But boy, when the market crashes, which one's more liquid?
The Warren Buffett's more liquid.
And when it really gets bad and we need it for healthcare, which one becomes more liquid?
The Warren Buffett's more liquid then.
So my clients that are retired that are worrying about liquidity, where do most of them put most of their money?
In the Warren Buffett.
Guys, how many prospects will answer any differently than Jeff just answered all those questions? And he just told me that what? I didn't tell him. He told me that an FIA is more liquid than a money manager. Did he or did he not? Did he say it was a lot more liquid or a little more liquid? A lot more liquid. So is liquidity ever a problem? If his advisor tries to bring up the liquidity issue, if his son or daughter tries to bring up the liquidity issue, he will tell them to what? What will Jeff tell them?
Because did I tell him that this was more liquid, or did he tell me it was more liquid? By a little or by a lot? When the market's going well, when the market's going down, when they need it for the biggest expense they could ever have, which is healthcare, which one is more liquid? The FIA. And if somebody tries to tell him any differently, what will he do? Agree with his son? Agree with his accountant? Agree with his advisor? Or will he argue back and say, you don't know what you're talking about? Which will he do? Agree or argue with somebody who tries to tell him that it's not liquid? Everybody answer this way. Agree or not agree? A for agree and A for not agree. Yeah, not. So have we covered liquidity? Has he told me that it's more liquid than your money manager is? Yes, I did not tell him. He told me.
The Warren Buffett option. So the last thing we'd want to look at is if it's going to be unbelievably expensive for us to do this, should we use it?
No, not if it's going to be too expensive.
So had we better look at how the fees work?
Yep, definitely.
So far we've covered rate of return, and he said which one is better when it comes to rate of return. FIA, market, or the bank. When it comes to return, which one is better? FIA, market, for what he needs in retirement, which one's better? Yeah, the FIA, Lonnie. When it comes to liquidity, which one did he say is better? The market or money market, or a money management, being in the market, or an FIA? Yeah, the FIA. And now we have to say, you know what? But there are fees. Are we going to hide the fact that there's fees? There are fees with FIA. So let's handle that.
Definitely. So let's do that. Let's look at your money management account versus the Warren Buffett option. So we said the three things the market can do again are what?
Up, down, or sideways.
Yep. So if the market goes up, how much are you paying in fees?
I think we said like 3 to 4%, somewhere in there.
And those go what every year?
They just keep on going.
Well, remember 3 or 4%. We said how many dollars are you paying?
Oh, 12,000.
Yeah, and if you're right, if the account goes up, what's going to happen?
The fees are going to go up too.
Go up too, right? So so you're going to pay those fees. But if you're going up, heck, who cares about fees as long as you're what?
As long as you're still netting money.
Yeah, as long as you're making money. That's right. Now with the Warren Buffett option, the way
guys, where did those fees come from? That 3 or 4%? Well, could be from mutual fund fees, could be from VA fees, and a lot of you think, well, geez, my money manager, that's not, they're not paying those kind of fees. Okay, what's the other kind of fee that we talk about in the 21-point checklist? Turnover. Very good, Gigi. You're on fire today. Excellent job.
It works is you make more. When you make more, you're going to pay more. When you make less, you pay less. And here's what I mean by that. We said that when the market goes up, you're going to get all the return or 40% of the return?
Just 40% of the return.
So I'm revisiting return. Am I sugarcoating anything about an FIA in this whole? So we're into this 51 minutes. Have I sugarcoated anything with an FIA, guys, at this point? About return, about liquidity, about anything? No, I'm laying it on the line. I just want them to what? Compare on an even Steven.
So when the market goes up 20%, you're going to get how much?
8%. 8, yep.
Yeah. If the market goes up 2%, you're going to get what? 0.2 or 0.8.
0.8, yep.
Yeah, so when the market was at 20, you ended up paying 12% for fees, right? When the market went up 2%, you paid 1.2.
Hey, you, stop that. Ugh, just a second here. Time me out.
It's stupid.
No.
Knowledge of still makes. Yeah, so when the market was at 20, you ended up paying 12% for fees, right? When the market went up 2%.
Again, guys, am I hiding anything? I'm saying if the market goes up 20, you're only going to get 12%. Am I hiding? Am I hiding it? Or am I right in their face? Listen, the market goes up 20, you're only going to get 12.
Is that trying to hide how an FIA works, or is it right in their face what they'll have to give up on good years? Is it right in their face? Yes or no? YRN. Yes, it's in their face, or no, it's not in their face. Yes, it's right in their face. I don't want them to buy this with some sort of false pretenses. Do I want them to understand what they're getting? Yes. So let me go here.
You paid 1.2% in fees, which is more or less than your market investment.
Well, that's less than the market investment.
Yeah. So, and again, why are we okay with paying, getting only 4% of the market when the market goes up?
You're not going to lose anything.
You're not going to lose any money. And that's why, even when the market's going up, you might like to get a high rate of return and pay those $12,000 in fees, but does it seem unreasonable that when you make a lot, you pay more, and when you make less, you pay less?
No, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Not great, but at least what?
It's at least reasonable. It's fair.
It's reasonable. Yeah. Now, when the market goes down, of course, your money manager waives the fees, don't they?
No, you still have to pay them.
Yeah, so you still have to pay them. But what happens with the Warren Buffett option? Do you pay them? No, they actually pay you. What do I mean they pay you? Are you in the hole, or did they cover the losses for you?
No, they covered the losses.
So did they pay you out of that hole?
Yep.
And when the market goes sideways, of course, the market's going to the money manager's going to charge you or not charge you?
He's still going to charge you.
Yeah. How about the Warren Buffett option?
0, I think. I hope.
Yeah, 0. So the way I look at it is this. Let's say you're going to have your driveway redone. So you're paying somebody to tear out your driveway and put in a new one. And they make a mistake and they back into a tree. The tree falls in your house and it causes you $40,000 worth of damage. How happy are you?
I'm not happy at all.
Not happy at all. So did they cause you damage?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So what if they didn't fix your driveway, they caused you damage, and then they had the gall to deliver a bill for you for the driveway? What would you say?
I'd say I'm not paying this.
Until they what?
Not until they fixed everything.
Yeah. So when you lose money in the market, did your money manager cause you damage? Whether they meant to or not, did they cause you damage?
Yeah, they did.
But they still have the gall to hand you a what?
They still send you a bill.
What did you tell the driveway guy?
Yeah, I'm not going to pay this. I'll see you in court.
But yet, with the money managers, we've gotten so used to Wall Street dictating the rules. When they do it, we say what?
And I don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice. But if we had our druthers, which way is more fair?
Oh, the Warren Buffett way is more fair.
Way more fair. And what if they did no work whatsoever, and then they handed you a bill? What would you say?
Yeah, I'm not paying it.
Well, if the market does nothing, or only makes 1%, like they fix just a little tiny piece of your driveway, if the market does nothing, should they be charging you $12,000 for fees?
No, they shouldn't charge anything if they didn't do anything.
Then what does Warren Buffett charge you if nothing happens?
Nothing.
Nothing. So we don't like fees, but if we want fees to be fair, which seems like a fair way to charge fees? The way the money managers do, or the mutual funds do, or the revenues do, or the way the Warren Buffett does?
The way the Warren Buffett does.
Yeah. So when we look at the Warren Buffett as compared to our other options, which are safe investments or market investments, like money managers or...
Have we covered fees, guys? Who told me the fees, the way an FIA charges fees, is way better than the way a money manager charges fees? Who told me that? Who told me that it was more liquid? Who told me that even though you don't get as much return, it's still better? Who is telling me over and over and over? In fact, we counted that. We counted it 300 times in this. You don't have to do it like I do. But Jeff has told me 300 times that an FIA is better than a money manager. Guess what? Now again, guys that don't do it 300 times like me, but just do it a third as well, just 30% as well, and only get a client to say it 100 times during the hour, guess how many of those people want to move to an FIA? Yeah, all of them. I'm gonna go back one more time, guys. This drives me crazy. So I'm going to go here.
To pull it out, can we ever make those? So now I'm incapacitated.
Okay, everybody on the call, I want you all to tell me this. If the market went down, if they pulled out, as the market went down 33%, the penalty on the money manager is how many times higher than on the FIA? Everybody put okay, I got two answers. Everybody. 10 times. Okay, can we agree then that if the client is going to say what? Which one is more liquid? The one that's 10 times higher, or the one that is 1/10 of the liquidity? Yes. So, and then now what we're going to do is going to have Jeff go through and tell me the whole thing, because we're running out of time here. We're down to 1 minute. So, why does this, guys, everybody answer, why does this, for 25 years, this presentation have we say 94%, because but it has a 100% closing ratio. The other 6% is because the advisor chose not to work with that person. But basically, let's go with 94%. Why does it have a 94% closing ratio? When you do it the way I did it with Jeff there, why does it have a 94% closing ratio? How many times did Jeff tell me that he wanted an FIA? Over and over and over and over. Now, here's the question. How many times did he tell me that he'd rather have the market investment? How many times did he tell me he'd rather have the market investment? 0. How many times did he tell me he wanted the safe investment? Never. So if he says, I don't want a market investment, I don't want a safe investment, but tells me hundreds of times he wants the Warren Buffett, then guess what he's going to do? Now, this is the last, we won't have another coach call this, but go ahead from 1 hour in and then listen to how I then have him tell me he wants an annuity. I'm not going to tell him he wants to buy an annuity. He's going to tell me he wants an annuity. Even if he hates annuities, before I did this presentation, even if he said, I hate annuities, by now, when I explain that you can either do it yourself, buy your own options, buy your own bonds, and not use the economies of scale, or have somebody who's professional do it, and using the economy of scales with an annuity, they all say they'd rather have an annuity. So even if they hated an annuity at the beginning of this conversation, guess what they all tell me? Guess what 94% of people tell me by the end of this presentation? Well, I didn't know that's how annuities work. If this is how annuities work, I want that annuity. Does that make sense? Do you see how powerful this presentation is when you do it the right way? If I did this on primetime TV, what would happen to how big would my phone bank need to be? If I did this on primetime TV, if I did this at 7 o'clock at night on Netflix, how big would my phone bank need to be? This presentation sells how many people? Please, please, please learn this presentation. Make sense? So we're 1 minute after, but we'll go get it started. For those of you who want to be on the script call, we'll get started at 5 after 10. I will be on vacation next week, but Jerry's going to have a fantastic call on how to a great Roth IRA technique on converting that over. You won't want to miss that call. It's going to be fantastic. So you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. We'll talk to you here in a couple weeks, and don't miss next week's call, because you're going to be really excited about the technique that Jerry has to show you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Talk to you in a couple weeks, and I will join everybody here in about 5 minutes on the script call. Bye-bye.